I will say this, though. I love what I saw from Marcus Mariota and Smith's offense against the 49ers with what did they have? They had a good O-line. They had two ordinary runners and some nice weapons, but they were young, and I think they were dinged up, right? Pitts, I think, was dinged up. And they played ball control against the 49ers, ran it at their non-DJ Jones front, converted on first down, stayed on the field, dominated time of possession.
No
He
Armstead
completed
or Kinlaw in that game
94% of
too.
his passes. And I'll tell you, I don't know how if you remember that game, but there were several third downs where I'm looking at Mariota and I'm looking at the formation and I'm thinking to myself, like I'm D'Amico Ryans, and I'm thinking there is a tremendous amount of pressure on this defense, because they got into third and short all day. And it's like, and there's Mariota with the ability to like hand it to Huntley, who's just going to dive forward or like keep it and run, and he's fast. So I don't know if I could get Mariota to add to this group, I think that's the guy I would get. And if I'm looking for a way to utilize Trey, I think I would show him that Atlanta game and just be like, this is what we want to see. I mean, this is what, in some ways, I think Trey could be a better version of Mariota, a better version of Jalen Hurts, potentially if he, got down that road of development. But I mean, as that kind of pressure player on third down where he can read it, you beat you with his arm or keep it on a play fake and maybe bulldoze you. But I'll tell you one thing we learned first so far, Vish, he's not going to run around you, and he's not going to Lamar and sidestep you and you just miss. No, he's big and physical,
You got me there with that Juke Krug.
Like that. That was the
I was.
That was my Nick Sirianni against the hey
Kev. Okay, so here's my thing with Mariota, yes. Larry. If you're talking about coming here on the league minimum as a veteran quarterback, I won't push back against it. I think he would be a nice third quarterback option. I think the vet minimum is about $1 million. So if you're saying
maybe you could go a little higher because your top two guys cost nothing.
Right. For Marcus Mariota, I don't know. Because look, you keep going back to that game.
I'd go $3 million.
Back to that game, Larry. And, I would like to say that I was one of the few people at the time who said, hey, this is not going to be a good game for the 49ers. No Eric Armstead, no Javon Kinlaw in that game against that offensive line, and how creative Arthur Smith is in the run game. Because he is, when you're talking about run game coordinators in the NFL after Kyle Shanahan, you could probably fit, Arthur Smith right after him in terms of the most creative and best run game coordinators in the NFL. They don't do so much in terms of how many different runs they do, but they're always very, very well prepared to run what they run against any front. We saw that with Derrick Henry, right? How many times did they run inside zone with Derrick Henry, but they always had it blocked, right? Against so many different looks, so many different fronts, got so many different big plays out of it. But you keep going back to that game, Larry, with Mariota, and he was 14
for 93% against the number one D in football.
Larry, the number throws he was asked to make, Larry. The throws he was asked to make, Larry.
I'm just saying, I mean, why would you? I mean, he's a great kid.
Why did he get benched, Larry?
Well, I mean, he didn't play that well in every game, but I mean, imagine a guy who's that big, that athletic, that smart, and that's your third quarterback with all these weapons. I'll take my chances. I think the Niners, I mean, what do you got to do to win, to beat Philly? You got to get a big time run game. What are you going to do to get a run game? You got to have everybody has to be accounted for. That's what makes Philly's run game so tough. You got to account for Hurts. So I like the idea of Brock can run. I like the idea of Trey can run. And I like the idea of Mariota being able to run. So that's number one. Number two, you bolster your offensive line. The Niners already have the best blocking backs and receivers and tight ends maybe in the league. Just get some road graders up front, get a quarterback with some mobility, and spend the rest of your time on defense.
Yeah, I look at Mariota as a third quarterback, nothing more. To me, he's not a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL. I guess he's an okay backup. I wouldn't appreciate if Mariota had to play quarterback for the 49ers for, 6 to 8 games. I think a lot of bad things would happen in that situation. I didn't think highly of his talent when he was at Oregon. I was
He
shocked.
won the Heisman.
Jason White won the Heisman.
Fish, you might have to go. I think you might have to go. I mean, I know I might be too rah-rah on him, but you might be too anti-Mariota. I think you need a Mariota refresher.
Look at Larry, that Tennessee team. Look at what happened when they put Ryan Tannehill in the game instead of Marcus Mariota. Their entire offense opened up when they actually had a quarterback capable of completing throws 10 yards plus down the field. Marcus Mariota was awful on some of those Tennessee teams that made the playoffs. He's
beginning with his second
career.
This is directly from his bio. Beginning with his second season as the starting quarterback for Tennessee, who had only won 5 games in the previous 2 seasons, Mariota led the team to 3 consecutive winning seasons, the most since the team was known as the Oilers. And then he was benched and replaced by
one
Tannehill.
Of those years he threw 9 touchdowns and 17 picks, and they made the playoffs.
He's not bad, though. I'm telling you.
9 touchdowns and 17 picks. I know you just went down to his stats in his Wikipedia. You read that season.
Okay, this is what he was in college. This is what he was in college. 36-5 with 105 touchdowns and 14 picks. That's what he was in college. Here's what he is in the NFL. 34-40, but still with 92 touchdowns and 54 interceptions.
What if I read you AJ McCarron or Matt Leinart?
I think the reason he lost out to Ritter was the knee, wasn't it?
NFL.
I thought he had a knee issue.
No,
he had 15 touchdowns and 9 picks this year. He threw for 171 yards per game. He added 438 yards on the ground. He played 13 games.
Yeah, he had
in December. He had surgery to repair chronic knee injury that he'd been battling.
He got Falcons it after he was benched, though. He got benched, and then he left the team and got that surgery, I think, to fix his knee. I don't know exactly what happened, but I know that they first benched him for Desmond Ritter, which then set the next set of actions, which included him getting surgery on his knee. And I'm not shocked that they released him. But Larry, gosh,
I love, man. He won
the idea of him as a third quarterback.
MVPs. I mean, he was pretty big time, man. All I'm saying is,
there's a lot of great college players,
but
Larry.
He's 6'4",
he was one of
220
them.
and fast, and he's a good kid. What don't you like? What's not to like?
Jake Locker was 6'4", 220, fast, and a good kid. I know,
but you're talking about the third quarterback.
Oh, I like him as a third quarterback.
That's
nothing more, nothing else. $1 million.
We're just debating on how much money to give him. You're saying the minimum. I'm saying maybe $3 million.
Actually, we're just debating on him in general, and it's probably going to be funny because if the 49ers do sign Marcus Mariota, gosh,
we're bringing this one out.
He's going to despise me. Yeah,
I'm putting this out there, man.
Hey,
this video is going to go wall to wall.
It's not personal, actually, Mariota. It's more about how much Krueger seems to believe in
Kumar
you.
and attacks Marcus Mariota. Who's a good Samaritan too. He's a truly good guy.
Gosh, Larry. Why do you believe in Mariota so much?
He completed 93% of his passes.
14 for 15, Larry.
Bish, he was like, I think he was like 18 of 19.
14 of 15.
Was it?
Yeah.
You sure?
I'm 98% sure now.
I think it might have been like 17 of 18, man. Anyway, either way, he put a lot of pressure on the 49er defense. And when I watch Hurts and when I watch Mahomes and when I watch Josh Allen and when I watch Lamar and when I watch the best of the best quarterbacks in the game today, you have to have that element of RPO, I think, in your game. You've got to be able to freeze those linebackers. You've got to be able to run a little bit of that, especially in short yardage. It lends itself to it, especially with teams going for it more on fourth down. I just think that how is Kyle Shanahan ever going to win a Super Bowl? He's going to win a Super Bowl by running the football and play action pass off of that. He's not going to be able to 7-step drop it. He's going to have a strong, dominant defense, dominant special teams, dominant run game. That's what it's going to take. So to me, Mariota, I saw the pressure that D'Amico's defense felt. I felt it. I was doing the post game on
Larry. The scheme
What's
is
that?
very good. The scheme is very good. That's why they had some relative success with
Their
Desmond
back
Ritter,
sucked. They had
and they
Huntley,
still
and
managed to run the football,
I
Larry.
know, that's what
Arthur
I'm
Smith is
saying.
a
It's
great
like
corner
I think
coach.
Mariota might be able. You give Mariota all the weapons the Niners have.
Larry,
I'm
by
just
the
saying,
way,
as
he
a
went
third
13
quarterback,
for
I really
14. He went 13 for 14 in that game, not 14 for 15 even. I gave him too much credit. He was 13 for 14, Larry.
that's still pretty damn good though.
As a third string quarterback, you
What
got
did they
me. But
convert
then
on third
then
down
you
in
go
that?
talking about
What did
you
they
need a
convert on
guy
third
like
down in that game? Do you have the box there?
I
I mean,
sure I
they
can
had
give
to
it
have
to you, but I
converted like
promise,
65%, 70%.
Larry, if you
All I'm
attribute
saying
that
is
to Mariota,
I
oh
like
gosh.
if you want to say no to Mariota,
They
fine.
were 9 for 14. Very, very good. Very
Yeah,
good.
they
I'm in
dominated
for
on
Mariota
that is the quarterback down. Why do I like him? That's why I like him.
because he
Because I
converted.
saw it
He was 9 for 14 on third downs in a
against
game
the
that they won at
Niners.
home off of a Jeff Wilson fumble return for a touchdown that gave them 7 points as well.
He shut down the number one D. He did it against the number one D. I just like
Missing
Mariota.
missing
I think he's a good
missing their
prospect.
entire interior defensive line.
I think that I think he's a guy that is the perfect kind of guy for them in that he needs them, they need him. But he doesn't have tons of options, but he does have a little bit of upside. It's a little bit of a gamble, but I'll say this. How would you have felt if Mariota had been coming in for Brock Purdy against the Eagles? I would have felt like, all right, this is going to be tough, but we got a shot here. So
See,
that's my.
you would have still felt it was going to be tough. Here's
It's
the
going to be
thing, Larry.
tough. I mean, your third string on the road, NFC
I
Championship
agree
game.
with
It's going to
you
be
though.
tough.
I agree with you though. I think him as a third stringer is fine for $1 million. Great. Marcus Mariota is your third string quarterback. I'm not embracing anything more than that. And if you're asking me how I would have felt a little bit better than Josh Johnson, but I would still be crapping my pants thinking, yeah, this game is pretty much screwed for the 49ers because Marcus Mariota is playing quarterback for them.
Yeah, but as far as third quarterbacks go, it's probably the best in the league.
Maybe. I'd give you that. Depends.
That's really what it's about. I mean, here's the thing. If you're the 49ers, you cannot keep losing out on winning championships because of the quarterback. So it's happened to them every way imaginable. So now it's just like, hey, how about this? The league's probably going to put in a third quarterback and they're going to have some different rules. Invest in the third quarterback. Get a good third quarterback. And I would even like to have a good fourth quarterback. I think you can protect those guys. I think you can protect a couple guys a week. If you took you know, I don't know. I like the kid Toon from Houston quite a bit. If you took him in the 5th round or something like that, and you put him on the practice squad, and then you had Mariota and Trey and Brock, I think that's as good a quarterback room as there is.